Morning to all the participants. First of all, I congratulate you all for joining this, the most coveted profession of company secretaries. And this first step, a foundation. Your exams were supposed to be in the month of June, but due to this novel COVID-19 situation, the exams have been delayed. But thanks to the president, the vice president, and the entire council at ICSI, who has taken up this novel initiative of coming up with E-Vidya Vahini, the first time an online crash course, free crash course for the students across India. I'm really jealous of you people. We had no such facilities at our time, no such interaction with the institute. But now our institute is very proactive, and I welcome you all in this session. And without taking much of your time in the introductory part, I'll just straight away come to the topic. As in the today's mailer you received, the today's topic is company accounts. Now, as far as foundation is concerned, we all know we are dealing with an MCQ pattern of examination, and in company we have all the topics including issue of shares, forfeiture, reissue, preference shares, debentures, everything. I'll request you all to keep your copies and pen. I'm sure you must be having. If you're not having, keep them open so that we can take the most out of this 2-hour session, which has been organized by the institute. First thing, I hope you can view on your screen that you have the theoretical portion regarding fee. These theoretical portions you must cover. You must read these portions. Like, yeah, I'm enlarged the screen. Some of the participants has requested to enlarge the screen, and I think this should be okay. Someone has asked regarding to get this PDF. I'll ask the institute that whether it can be allowed or not. I'll definitely try to share this with all of you. Now, do remember to read these theoretical portions very well. Features of a company, because you'll find a lot of questions coming in from these topics. Types of companies, difference between a public company and a private company. Though you'll not be asked questions on difference, but the MCQs which the institute frames will definitely be covering from this topic of difference between private and public company. Difference between equity share, preference share. You must have a brief idea about the Memorandum of Association, MOA, and AOA, Articles of Association. I'll just show you in basic what kind of questions you have from these topics. Prospectus. Another important, very important question, purposes for which the securities premium balance can be used by a company. You'll find students often skip this topic, and there are a lot of MCQs coming in from this one. The purposes for which securities imbalance can be used by a company. Types of preference shares, you'll have questions on this topic as well. Conditions for redemption of preference shares. Sources from which CRR, I hope you must be knowing, capital redemption reserve can be created. Types of debentures. In the issue of debentures, you have 5 cases of issue of debentures. Debenture issues as collateral security. From these portions, you can find a lot of theoretical questions coming up. Now, coming straight away to MCQs, which will be the most beneficial. Like, Attached is an artificial person created by law with a perpetual succession and common seal. And you all must, go on solving yourself right now. The answer is company. Second one, read the question, you'll get it a bit tricky. Yeah, people have started responding. That's really good. I find that people enjoying it. Second one, which of the following is not an essential feature for company? Obviously, voluntary association person is the essential feature, distinct legal entity, perpetual existence. A, B, C, all are features. So not an essential feature is share capital of 50 lakhs. So answer is D. Coming to number 3 and 4, you'll find I've written a comment. Question number 3 and 4 are not applicable as per the new law. However, they were applicable as per the old law. So I've given this in MCQs, and you'll find even in a theoretical book, like a private company has to be registered with a minimum share capital of 1 lakh. So in number 3, the answer is B for Bombay. And in number 4, public company. In the case of public company, the minimum share capital is 5 lakhs, right? So this answer to this question you get from the differences. You can get it very easily. Now, the number of members of private company cannot exceed 200. I hope everyone knows it. And in the case of a public company, there is no maximum limit. Now, coming to the minimum number of members. Minimum number of members, people are responding really very well. I find that a lot of answers coming in the chat box. Good. Now, in the case of minimum number of members, and we know in the case of private company, the minimum number of members is 2. And the case of a public company, the minimum number of members is 7. Next. Which of the following restriction? Now, for this question of 7, you must be knowing that in the case of a private company must have few restrictions mentioned in its articles of association. That restrictions are that the number of members will be restricted to 200. The company cannot invite the public to subscribe for shares and debentures or public deposits. I hope you remember these points. So, question number 7 is what? Which of the following restrictions not applicable to a private limited company? Obviously, A, to open overseas branch office. This restriction is not applicable. B, C, and D are all applicable, but option A is not applicable. Coming to question number 8. It's wonderful. I'm getting a one good response in this short time. Question 8. Really interesting to find so many answers coming up from the participants. Equity shareholders are the owners of the company. Answer is A. Number 9. Equity shareholders are entitled to. Yes, answer is right. D. Dividend only when declared by the board of directors. Equity shareholders that do not have any. Now, you'll get this different, the answers to this question from differences even. Difference between equity share, preference share. So at the very beginning, I asked you to go through these portions from the examination point of view. So equity share, number 9. Equity shareholders are entitled to dividend only when declared by the board of directors. So similar question was number 10. Equity share capital carries no fixed dividend. Option D. D for Delhi, no fixed dividend. Coming to preference shares, a few questions. Preference shareholders get option A. Preference shareholders get dividend at a fixed rate. Coming to question number 12. Very fast response coming in from across India. Really wonderful. So number 12. Preference shareholders get a priority for payment of dividend and share capital both. Answer is C. 12 answer, a few people have marked D. That's wrong. It's C. Preference shareholders have priority in the payment of share capital and dividend both. Number 13. The document inviting offers from public to subscribe for the debentures or shares of a body corporate is prospectus. Next, coming to question number 14. Which statement is issued before the issue of shares? That's also prospectus. Number 15. Main objectives of the company are stated in Memorandum of Association. I think the screen enlargement is not required anymore. That's readable. Wonderful. So 15, answer was B, Memorandum of Association. 16, maximum amount of capital the company can raise is authorized capital. Amount of capital is mentioned in the capital clause known as authorized capital, registered capital, nominal capital. All of these 17. In the case 17, the answer is D. It's all the same. Authorized capital or registered capital or nominal capital. तीनों का मतलब एक ही होता है. All are the same. So 17 answer is D. All of these. 18 is, I hope you understand, the same question being put up in a different language. So registered capital is nothing but authorized capital. 18 is B for Bombay. Coming to 19 and 20. Again, this is an important theory regarding reserve capital. Reserve capital is that portion of uncalled capital. That portion of uncalled capital which the company can call up only at the time of winding up of the company. Reserve capital. Make sure I'm not talking of capital reserve. I'm talking of reserve capital. So in case of 20, reserve capital means portion of, the answer is B for Bombay. You'll find the answer is B. Portion of uncalled capital to be called only at the time of liquidation. Yeah, that's right. Next, 21 is oversubscribed. Everyone knows when a company receives an application for subscription to the shares of a company much more than the issued capital. That is called oversubscription. 22. A company cannot issue shares at a discount. Company cannot issue shares at a discount because company can issue redeemable preference shares, can issue right shares, can issue debentures, redeemable at a premium, but cannot issue shares at a discount. Next, right shares क्या होता है? What are right shares? They issue to the existing shareholders. Before issuing shares to public, if a company issues further shares, it has to offer those shares to the existing shareholders. These are called rights shares. 24 onwards, you have questions regarding share premium. A few questions regarding securities premium, share premium. So go to these questions. The amount received over and above the par value is credited to which account? Securities premium account. Yeah. 24 is securities premium. 25. There's no limit. There's a wonderful answer by many of you. 25, the answer is there is no limit. 26 onwards. We should remember that the balance of securities premium can be utilized by a company only for a few purposes. And those few purposes are for buyback of its own shares, for writing of preliminary expenses, for writing off the premium on redemption of preference shares, for writing off the commission on issue of shares or debentures, There are certain only 5 purposes for which the balance of securities premium can be used. So next the 4 questions are regarding that. 26. Share premium can be used for, obviously, redemption of preferences at a premium. Make sure redemption preferences at a premium. That means what? Share premium can be used for writing off the premium payable on redemption of preferences. Clear? So answer is A. Now coming to 27, it's a very tricky question. Share premium cannot be used to. It can be used for issuing bonus shares. It can be used for writing of preliminary expenses. It can be used for writing of discount on issue of debentures, but cannot be used for redeeming preference shares. Make sure. Why I said it's a tricky question. We can use the balance of securities premium for writing of the premium on redemption debenture, but not for redemption preference shares. The answer is B for bombing. Coming to 28, securities premium account cannot be used for. Answer is C, declaration of dividend. It cannot be used for declaration of dividend. Similarly, 29, share premium is utilized for this purpose. For which purpose? Obviously, option a premium payable on redemption of preference shares B for bonding. So if you go down through that theory which is given in a study material, remember the study material provided by the institute contains everything. You just need to read it thoroughly. Next, 30. Minimum subscription. Let me see if some people have answered it. Question 30. Yes, that's 90%. That's wonderful. 90%. Answer for 29. Someone is asking answer for 29. For 29, the answer is B, for premium payable on redemption of preference shares. Really thankful to all of you for being so interactive. Everyone is answering very fast. I'm sure your results are going to be great. Next, 31. The rate of interest paid on calls in advance. Calls in advance, answer is 12%. 12% interest. And calls in arrear attract interest at the rate of 10%. 33 onwards, not 30 onwards, 33, share allotment account or share application account or share first call account. These all accounts are personal accounts. So remember, these are personal accounts, they're not real or nominal. They are personal accounts. A few questions from the next topic. Issue shares for consideration other than cash. Lot of queries coming up, sir. Can you provide these notes? I can forward these to ICSI. There's a question coming up from Prachi Jindal. Yeah, preference shares की redemption के लिए नहीं होता है, but for writing of the premium payable on redemption preference shares. SPR can be used for writing of the premium payable for the redemption of preference shares. Next. Coming to 34 onwards, yeah, people are very eager. बहुत fast जा रहे हैं, बहुत low, really good. 34 onwards, the accounting entry involved for issue shares to promoters for the services rendered by them. Remember, as per the earlier company law and the earlier provisions, the answer was A, debit goodwill account and credit share capital account. Answer was A. However, as per the changes in the Companies Act 2013, Answer is debit in corporation expenses account and credit share capital. So 34, the answer is D, debit. A was, many of you have answered A or C. That is wrong. C is completely wrong. A was as per the earlier provisions. That is debit goodwill account and credit share capital account. As per the new provisions, as per the changes made by the Companies Act 2013 and the related changes made in the Schedule 3. 34th answer is D, debit in corporation expenses account and credit share capital account. Coming to 35, be careful. X purchased an automatic bottling machine from a vendor for 1,65,000. The company allotted an equity share to stay each at a premium of 10% instead of paying in cash. The vendor will be allotted how many shares? Let us see. 35. 34, I'll repeat. 34, the answer is D, debit in corporation expenses account and credit share capital. 35, we are getting a number of good answers. Few answers are wrong. Answer is A. 1,65,000 divided by 11. 10 rupees shares being issued at a premium of 10%, you're issuing shares at 11 rupees. So in the case of issue shares for consideration other than cash, we find that the answer would be like this: 1,65,000 divided by 11. Divide by 11, why? Because shares of rupees 10 are being issued at rupees 11. So the answer would be 15,000 shares. So many of you were correct. Next, yeah, 30. I'm getting wonderful answers. I'm concentrating more on the answers part. People are responding very fast. 36. Now, be careful with what this. How many equity shares will be allotted to the vendor? The company allotted the shares at 10% discount. Now, if the shares allotted 10% discount, if we come across this question, in that case, 1,65,000 divided by 9. So the answer would be in fraction. And if the answer isn't fraction, you have to round it off to the next higher figure. You'll have to round it off to the next higher figure. Remember, like 1,65,000 divided by 9, 18,333. So remember what I've done in my sheet. I've given 18,333. But if in the examination you have 18,334 as well, you mark that. There can be cases where you come across answers in fraction. Therefore, given this question, 18,333 as per the options given, the answer is 18,333. There's 1,65,000 divided by 9. Next. $37. You have paid 1 crore 10 lakhs for a machine of 1 crore. So the extra amount will be debited to goodwill account. हम जो extra pay करते हैं, the extra amount paid is goodwill. So 30, yeah, that's wonderful answer. Then if you've given A, 37A, that's goodwill. And 38, you have purchased a machine of 1 crore, you have paid only 90 lakhs. So the difference amount is capital reserve. The difference is capital reserve, 38. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, Himanshu Goyal have said the company cannot issue shares at a discount. That's very true. But if in issue shares you have such a question, so there can be a situation like that. Someone said 35 not understood. 35 is simple, and if you're issuing shares at a premium, so when you're dividing it, the answer here, face value plus premium is issue price. You have to divide the purchase consideration with the issue price and repeating 35. So like coming to 39, 10 lakhs was the purchase price of the plan. You have paid 2 lakh cash. The remaining amount is 8 lakhs. Now 8 lakhs divided by 125, like in 35. You have to divide it with 125. So you get the answer as 6,400. Again, 39, you have purchased a plant of 10 lakhs. You've paid 2 lakh cash. Remaining amount is 8 lakhs. So for calculating the number of shares, 8 lakhs divided by 125. Why 125? Because preference shares of 100 rupees have been issued at a premium of 25%. So 125. So divide by that. And if question 40, find that if the shares are issued at the discount. If that happens, because preference shares may be issued at a discount, if that is given, then 8 lakhs divided by 90. Now, here someone had an earlier, they had a doubt. You do 8 lakhs divided by 90, you get the answer as 8,888 point something. So that will be 8889, 8,889. So I'm skipping 40 and 42. They are all the similar varieties. I'll share the sheet with you. Coming to presentation balance sheet, this portion. Which of the following should be deducted from the share capital to find out paid up capital? These questions would be important one in a sense to understand now the practical angle. Which of the following should be deducted from share capital to find out paid up capital? Obviously, calls in arrear. From called up capital, if we deduct calls in arrear, we get paid up capital. Remember this because this would be very useful in the coming questions. So 43 answer is B, Bombay. B for Bombay, there is calls in arrear. 44. Dividends are usually paid on. Related to 43, dividends are always remember dividends are always paid on paid up capital. 44, the answer is D. Dividends are usually paid on paid up capital. And what is paid up capital? I explained in number 43. Called up capital minus calls in arrear. Now, coming to a practical question from this number 44. 44 says related to practical questions. 45. Just see, equity share capital called up is 5 lakh. Called up capital is 5 lakh. Calls in arrear is 40,000. Calls in advance 25,000. Proposed dividend 15%. Amount of dividend payable is. Remember, dividend is paid on paid up capital, and for paid up capital, we just deduct calls in arrear from called up capital. It has no link with calls in advance. So calls in advance has to be ignored. 5 lakh minus 40,000, 4 lakh 60,000, and 4 lakh 60,000 ka 15%. 15% of 4 lakh 60,000. So your answer is 69,000. In 45, your answer is 69,000. 15% of paid up capital. Next. So someone said, can explain again 45. And why not adding calls in advance? Calls in advance is not a part of your share capital. Everyone should remember calls in advance is shown in the balance sheet under the heading current liabilities. Under other current liabilities, calls in advance is not a part of share capital. Therefore, for calculating the amount of dividend payable, calls in advance is not taken into consideration. Calls in arrears has to be deducted because in the balance sheet, under the heading share capital, when you prepare the notes to accounts, we deduct calls in arrears from the subscribed capital to find out the paid up capital. So 45, someone said to repeat again, share capital 5 lakh minus calls in arrear. Why 5 lakh? Because that is called up. Called up 5 lakh का उसमें से minus 40,000 you get 4 lakh 60,000. 15% of 4 lakh 60,000 would be the amount of dividend payable. That is 69,000. I hope now that's clear. For please reply those who given the answer. So those who raise the question for 45. Yeah, thank you. So you have understood it. 46. People have moved on to 46. Really good. In the case of 46, remember again a tricky question. Some 45 was done. 46 is again a tricky question. And remember in MCQs, you need while attempting an MCQ pattern examination, you have to be mentally very alert. Examiner can take you in a trap, can take you for a ride. Kaise? 46 and 45. See the difference. In 45, equity share capital called up tha 5 lakh. But in 46, I've given equity share capital paid up to 85. I've given 2 lakh 85,000 paid up capital. So when paid up is given, you need not deduct, you have not to deduct. आपको deduct नहीं करना है call से 15,000. There's a trick of MCQ examinations. That is in 46. Many people have answered wrong. They fell into my trap. Equity capital paid up is 2,85,000. So simple 20% of 2,85,000. Calls will not be deducted. It was deducted in 45. I again repeat because in 45 I had given called up capital. I had not given paid up there. I hope you got the difference now. So in 46, 2,85,000 into 20%. So the answer is 57,000. That is the answer is A. Answer is A. Some people went wrong because they had deducted that 15,000. So calls in advance is not to be taken into consideration. Someone has written, so what will happen to calls in advance? Calls in advance is not a part of share capital. So for calculation of called up capital, or sorry, paid up capital, or for calculation of dividend payable, we are not bothered about it. Okay, we got a lot of answers. Yes, 46 now people have got the answer is A. They've understood it now. Coming to 47, calls in arrear are reduced from subscribed capital. I already discussed. 47, the answer is B. B for Bombay. That is reduced from subscribed capital. Next, coming to 48, premium on issue of equity shares or preference shares is shown under reserves and surplus. Now, coming to practical aspects, people will be more interested in this portion. Practical aspects of issue of shares. 10,000 equity shares, 10 each, were issued. Remember, again, very tricky question. I will not answer. Let some people answer 49. Let me see what the answer is. 49. Good. Few wrong answers coming in. but majority are right. Answer is 20,000, not 24. Few people have marked the 24. That's wrong. It's 20,000 because if we issued 10,000 shares, subscriptions we have received for 12,000. So what? That additional 2,000 will either have to be refunded or adjusted against allotment. We cannot transfer the amount on those extra 2,000 shares to our securities premium account. In the securities premium account, we can transfer only the amount with respect to 10,000 shares. So the amount of securities premium would be 20,000. Next, 50. When the full amount due in any call is not received, the shortfall is debited to calls in arrear account. If someone is given in advance, we know that is calls in advance. 51 is calls in advance account. Now, 52 onwards, be very careful. 52 onwards, you have to be very careful. On an equity issue is 20, the company has called up 18, but actually received only 16. Share capital account would be credited by how much? Let me look at the answers coming across. 52. Yes. A lot of good answers coming in. Answer is B, 18, not 16 and not 20. Some people have answered 16, some have given answer 20, but majority have answered 18. That's right. Capital credit kitna se hoga? How much? 18 rupees. Because called up value is 18. Make sure read the question. As I said, in MCQ exams, you have to be very careful about the fine print, about the language. Else to be falling into the trap of the examiner. On equity ship is 20, the company has called up 18, but actually received rupees 16 only. I'm repeating 52. The share capital would be credited by 18. Coming to 53. Share capital is 20 face value. Company is called up 18, but actually received rupees 16 only. The difference rupees 2 will be debited to calls in arrear account. 53 is A. Answers by many of you are right. 54. Just see the level of questions in the similar line I have so that I can make a fast track revision of yours. On an equity ship is 20, the company has called up 16, but actually received 18. The share capital will be credited with, again, called up jitna utna sahi, 16 rupees. Company has called up 16, but received 18. So extra 2 rupees is calls in advance. That is 55. The same question, the, only the last statement has been changed. The difference is 2 would be credited in calls in advance account. So 55, the answer is B for Bombay. Credited in calls in advance account. So I'll again repeat 54. The answer was C. The share capital will be credited with 16 rupees. Remember, called up amount. And in 55, the difference rupees 2 because you extra 2 rupees like receipt rupees extra that will be credited calls in advance as B for Bombay. Coming to 56, 57, 58, these three regarding pro rata, and many times students face a bit of problem in this sums on pro rata. Yeah, good answers coming in again. Some people are very smart that these questions are provided with ICSI or like that. No, these are personal compilation of the student of the faculty, not of ICSI. 56. X Limited allotted 10,000 shares to applicants of 14,000 shares on pro rata basis. 10,000 shares allot हुआ है, applicants of 14,000 shares का. Who applied for 840 shares? What is the number of shares allotted to him? Many answers have already come in. So the number of shares allotted, that would be something 10,000 by 14,000 into 840. So that's coming to 600. And if application value is 2, then what will be the amount transferred to further calls? The amount transferred to further calls, extra shares are how much? 240 shares into 2 rupees. That is rupees 480 to transfer to further calls. So the question 56, the answer would be option A, 600 shares and rupees 480. I don't think any questions coming on this one because I'm 56. This is A. Yeah, A is correct. Very good. Very good response. Coming to 57. E limited is allotted. Many of people have raised their hands. I don't know why. Uh, 57. In 57, fine. 10,000 shares have been allotted to applicants. Again, 14,000. Application is same to FS applied for 420 shares. Again, the same is applied for 420 shares. So, how many shares have been allotted? So, it's that same case, 10,000 by 14,000 into 420, right? So, this would be coming to 300 shares. And you have your 120 shares extra, 120 into 2 rupees, 240 rupees will transfer to share allotment account. Next, again 58. 5,000 shares have been issued. Application मिला है 6,000 का. Pro rata allotment. If Sham applied for 180, how many would be allotted? But again, same 5,000. I think it's visible. Yeah. By 6,000 into 180. So you got the answers. Answer would be 58. Tell me. Let me see what participants have written. Yeah, that's right. C. C is correct. That's wonderful. Many answers coming in. Yeah, 150. So these are sample questions regarding pro rata. Coming to forfeiture and reissue of forfeited shares. Just let me have a look at the questions coming in. Okay. Many questions. Just answer one. Can shares be issued at discount? Obviously, no. Shares cannot be issued at discount. Right. Securities premium and share premium are the same thing. This is one common question coming up. I'm just summarizing the questions. Share premium and securities premium the same thing. That's not in the issue. Share premium was an old term and securities premium is a new term. That's the only difference. And one question coming up very common is reserve capital and capital reserve. Capital reserve is a part of profit. Capital reserve is a capital profit. It arises out of many reasons like reissue of forfeited shares, or other profits of a long-term nature, which you'll study in the next higher level. Like if a company has sold its land at a profit, that profit is credited to capital reserve. So capital reserve is basically a profit. I'm answering the question raised by a few participants. They're getting a difference between reserve capital and capital reserve. So capital reserve is a capital profit. It's a part of reserves and surplus. Whereas reserve capital is not any profit. Reserve capital is that portion of uncalled capital of the company. Make sure what I'm saying, that portion of uncalled capital of the company, which the company has decided not to call up except at the time of winding up. कि company का बंद होने का जब time आएगा, when the company is going to winding a process for the liquidation, at that time, if required, then the company will call up that uncalled portion. Then that is called reserve capital. So that's one very common question raised by the participants. Someone has said, can we get the recording of this session? I cannot answer this. Yes, someone, Ravi Yadav has closed. SWAT equity shares, yes, they can be issued at a discount. I'll move further to question 59 onwards for the time being. 59. Shares can be forfeited. Why? Only for the for non-payment of call money. Not for any other reason, but only for non-payment of call money, shares can be forfeited. Answer is A, 59. Now 60 onwards, be careful. First, I've discussed the theoretical part, then I'm moving down to the practical. That's the entire process you followed in these slides, in this notes basically, so that I've been given a very short time to cover the entire syllabus. So to make justice to the topic, to the allotted time, I've arranged the sheets in such a manner that first I've given the theory related to the topic and then the practical aspects. So number 60, be careful. At the time of forfeiture, share capital is debited with called up value. Answer is D, called up value. Jitna call ho chuka hai. The amount which has been called by the company. So the time of forfeiture, share capital account is debited with called up value. And similar question 61, share forfeiture account is credited with amount received on the forfeited shares. Whatever number of shares the company is forfeiting, on those shares, whatever amount has been received. So total amount, whatever has been received the company on the shares being forfeited, that amount is credited to forfeiture account. So 61, there are two things. So answer is C, called up capital of shares forfeited, share capital debited with, and amount received on shares forfeited. Forfeiture account will be credited with that amount. 61. Coming to 62. Value of share is 100. Only 100 rupees has been called up. And the shareholder did not pay the final rupees 30. Remember, share is of 100 rupees, that is face value. Called up is 80. Share does not pay the final of 30. The share is forfeited. So capital account kitna se debit hoga? Capital will be obviously be debited with. Let me see the answers now. I'm talking of 62. 62. Not yet. So that means you people need to practice this chapter. Many of you not, and herein comes the actual practical aspect of the topic. Yeah, now good answers coming in. Answer is C, rupees 50. Remember what I said. I'm sorry. 62 we're talking, sorry. Answer is B, Bombay. That's right, B. 80 rupees. Yeah, already if you could answer, come in. Because share capital is debited with what we said. Called up value, and called up is how much? 80. So answer is B, not C. When if you've answered C, is not the right answer. The forfeiture share capital will be debited by, at the time of forfeiture, that was pending error, share capital will be debited by, obviously 80 rupees. Next. Coming to 63. Uh, Sorry, I had to be off for a moment. 63. Z Limited issued 10,000 shares with 10 each. Called up value per share was 8. Remember, called up value per share was 8. The company forfeited 200 shares of Mr. A for non-payment of first call money rupees 2 per share. He paid rupees 6 for application allotment on forfeiture. The capital account will be. There's no point stretching the question so long, but examiner will stretch the question so that you get confused at times. To 8 rupees, called up value per share is 8. So 200 into 8, 1600. Say share capital on debit over. So answer 63 answer is B for Bombay. Debited by rupees 1600. Next. Again, 64. Someone asks how many questions we have to solve. Uh, I got a very short time period of just 2 days to prepare for this short duration. And you can find there total 13 pages. And right now we are in page number 5. So there's a lot more questions coming up. So first of all, let us come into 64. A company forfeited 2,000 shares of each, which issued at par held by A for non-payment of allotment money rupees 4. The called up value per share was 9. Read the question. Share capital account कितना से debit होगा? Share capital account will be debited with what amount? The called up value is how much? 9 per share. And how many shares have been forfeited? 2,000. That's it. So 2,000 into 9. The share capital account will be debited with 18,000 because 2,000 shares have been forfeited. Called up value per share is rupees 9. That is enough for you. Since the very beginning of this portion, what we have learned, the share capital account at the time of forfeiture is debited with called amount. 2,000 into 9, 18,000. Coming to 65. Now, careful 65. What is 65 all about? A company issued 5,000 shares with 10 each at 20% premium. Application rupees 2, allotment is rupees 5, including premium, first call, final call 5 rupees. A holder of 200 shares failed to pay the first and final call. His shares are forfeited. Amount to be credited to share forfeiture account. Remember what we said? Share forfeiture account is credited with amount received by the company on the forfeited shares, excluding premium money. Excluding premium money. That means if premium money has been received, that will not be credited to share forfeiture account. Read the question. Company has issued 200 shares that person is holding. He has paid application money rupees 2 and he has paid allotment money of rupees 5. But 5 includes 2 rupees premium. Why 2 rupees? Because shares of 10 each issued at 20% premium. So that 5 includes 2 rupees premium, remove it. So you have the company has received on account of capital how much? Application 2 rupees, allotment 3 rupees. 3 plus 2, 5. Because the question is what? Calculate the amount to be credited to share forfeiture account. So the amount would be 200 into 5, that is 1000. Is that clear? Amount to be credited to share forfeiture account, that would be 1000. No, 65. Yeah, 1000, that's right. Yeah, some people have answered it. Coming to 66. Yes, that's right. D, capital reserve. Profit on reissue of forfeited shares is transferred to the capital reserve account. 67. Discount allowed on reissue of forfeited shares is debited to option D, forfeited shares account. Now coming to questions on capital reserve, I've arranged the questions in a proper manner so that we can cover one topic of the other. Now we're coming to some sort of reissue. Just see, company has forfeited 1000 shares, 68. I'm discussing 68. Please be careful. 1000 shares have been forfeited. 7.5 paid up. Remember, paid up means company has received 7.5. That means for that 7.5 was credited to capital reserve, sorry, to share forfeiture account. 7.5 paid up. That means when these shares are forfeited, the share forfeiture account was credited with rupees 7.5, and when these are reissued, they reissued at rupees 7 per share. That means discount how much? 3 rupees discount. And that 3 rupees. Why 3 rupees? Because shares are of rupees 10 each. They have been issued at rupees 7. So 3 rupees is discount. That 3 rupees is debited to share forfeiture account. Remember. So earlier you are credited 7.5. Now you debited 3. So the profit per share is 4.5. 700 into 4.5 will be the capital reserve. Let me see the answers coming in. Yeah, 3150. That's wonderful answer. 700. No, it's not C. Someone has answered C. It's not C. It's 3150. I think the line was disconnected. Yeah. So just wait one sec. Yeah, someone said can explain 68 again. Okay, sure. 68. Uh, these are sums on capital reserve. Those want to listen again. For calculating capital reserve, what we do, number of shares reissued, will have to be multiplied with, multiplied with what? The difference of share forfeiture account. Per share, like in 68, when we had forfeited these shares, we had credited 7.5 per share to the share forfeiture account. Why? Because company received the 7.5. How come you know? Because paid up. Paid up is 7.5. So 7.5 was credited to capital reserve account minus you debited 3 rupees. Why debited 3? Because the time of reissue, you have reissued them at rupees 7, but the shares were of rupees 10. So you have given a discount of 3. So the company had made a profit per share of how much? Of 4.5. This 4.5 will have to be multiplied with 700 shares. 700 into 4.5, 3,150 will be the amount of capital reserve. In capital reserve account, we credit the amount of profit made by the company. So those were requested for, why 700? Okay, 700 because we had reissued the 700 shares. Yes, at least, yeah, people have got it. They've written thank you. Thank you so much for the response. If you respond this way, I get to know that yes, I have been able to, solve your queries. Yeah, forfeited shares can be reissued at a discount. Correct. Hansuja, yes, forfeited shares can be reissued at a discount. Company cannot issue fresh shares at a discount, remember, but forfeited shares can be issued at a discount. Thank you. Thank you for the response. Thank you for the response, everyone. Wonderful. And someone said, why 700? 700 because we have reissued only 700 shares. How we have forfeited, but we have reissued 700. So we have to multiply with 700. Someone said, sir, why 3? Reason, the shares have been issued at rupees 7 per share. As fully paid up is not mentioned, it doesn't matter. We'll have to assume that they have been reissued as fully paid up. You know why? Because other shares are also fully called up. Other shares, 7.5 rupees paid up, 7.5 paid up. And 2.5 was not paid. So total called up amount was 10. So these forfeited shares, when they are being reissued, they are reissued at rupees 10 paid up. So 7 rupees you are collecting. You're giving them share of rupees 10. You're giving a discount of 3. Therefore, 3 has been deducted. Thanks for the response, guys, and for this wonderful participation. Coming to 69. JL Limited reissued 2,000 shares which were forfeited by crediting share forfeiture account by rupees 3,000. Make sure when you forfeited these 2,000 shares, then you credited 3,000 to the share forfeiture account. Now you're reissuing them at rupees 9. Obviously, as fully paid up, even if it's not mentioned. That means a discount of 1 rupee per share. 2,000 into 1 rupees. So total discount of 2,000. You have received 3,000. That is credit 3,000, a debit 2,000. So capital reserve would be, those earlier is a question. If you respond, I'll be very happy. 1,000, that's good. I've got the answers from many. That's good. So answer is 1,000. Good. So now you will have understood it. Next, forfeited shares reissued. Now, read these questions carefully. Again, forfeited shares reissued cannot be issued at a discount more than सबने सिंह मजा आ गया. So मजा आ गया मतलब आपको क्लास इंटरेस्टिंग लग रही है. I don't know from which part of the country you're speaking, but it makes me happy if I'm able to make your things understand. Yeah, 70. The answer is right. It's A, amount forfeited. Someone said again, someone is saying answer is class is very interesting. Thank you. Yeah. Anyways, back to the number 70. Forfeited shares cannot be reissued. Forfeited shares cannot be reissued at a discount more than amount forfeited. They cannot be issued at a discount more than amount forfeited. जितना अमाउंट फोरफिट हुआ है उससे बेसिक डिस्काउंट नहीं दे सकते, हमेशा ध्यान में रखिएगा. You cannot give a discount of more than the amount forfeited. मतलब, if a shareholder has paid, say for example, rupees 4, if a shareholder has paid rupees 4, then at the time of reissue, you can give a discount of maximum 4 rupees. Someone has said, sir, please speak Hindi sometime. Actually, मैं हिंदी बोल तो लूँ, but I have been told that participants from the southern part of the country and from everywhere. So there can be a issue. इसलिए मैं ज़्यादा हिंदी यूज़ नहीं कर रहा हूँ. नहीं तो मैं हिंदी भी यूज़ कर लेता हूँ ज़्यादा. मैं इसे नहीं कर रहा हूँ because we are having participants from that across the country. Anyways, thanks guys. So forfeited shares cannot be issued at a discount more than amount forfeited. Remember, coming to 71, X was issued 100 shares of rupees 10 each at par. He paid application money and allotment money. Remember, read the question, please. Total amount to be 6 and failed to pay the balance money of 4. So maximum discount कितना हो सकता है? अभी explain किए थे आपको कि उसने कितना पे किया. How much has he paid? He has paid 6. So maximum discount कितना हो सकता है? Rupees 6. So 71 answer is A. That's right. Next, coming to 72. Someone said it should be 4. Just wait, read the question again. No, Sarika. Sarika Singla, you have written the answer should be 4. No, ma'am. Read the question. Question is maximum discount कितना दे सकते हैं? We have received 6. So remember, we have to, yeah, right. Okay, now you got it now. Minimum 4 लेना पड़ेगा. Minimum 4 we'll have to collect. अगर question ये पूछता, if the question had been how much minimum amount we have to collect, that is the minimum price at which these shares can be reissued. The minimum price, if the question was minimum price, then the answer would have been 4. But the maximum discount is 6. Thanks for the feedback. This session is helping a lot. Thanks for your help. Thank you guys for your participation. Next, 72. Yeah, the line was disconnected, I think. Join again. Coming to 72. 1 second. I think it's creating a trouble. 1 second. Question 72. X was issued 100 shares of his 10 each, the payment would be 1. He paid application money, allotment money, total amount to 5. and fail to pay the balance, call money rupees 6. Maximum discount कितना दे सकते हैं? Yes, 72. Yeah, I think Sarika, I think you had answered. Answer is 4. Maximum discount that can be given at the time of reissue is 4. You know why, everyone? Because 5 rupees total मिला था पहले. We received 5, including 1 रुपया premium. Premium amount is not credited to share forfeiture account. So share forfeiture account was credited with only rupees 4. Remember, share forfeiture account was credited with only rupees 4. So the maximum discount which you can give is 4 only. Coming to 73. These questions are actually very important for the practical aspects of the chapter. 73. ध्यान से देखना आप 73 में क्या लिखा है. Get paid application out for money rupees 5, excluding premium. Without premium, you received 5. So maximum discount would be how much? I will not say the answer. Now you people will have to answer this. 73. So what would be the answer? I think its line has been disconnected again. Can you hear me? I'm not sure. Are we all there? Yeah. 73. I was waiting for the answer to 73. Yes, D. That's wonderful. Very good. Some people responding very fast. The answer is D, rupees 5. That's correct. Good. Next, coming to 74. On a share capital, on a share of rupees 100, issued at rupees 10, the whole amount has been called up. But because the share only 80 has been received, the share capital account would be credited by share capital account कितना से credit हुआ होगा. Whole amount has been called up. Remember, share face value is 100, premium is 10. Forget premium. Share capital account credit कितना से हुआ है? Obviously, the answer is 100 rupees. The same question, share forfeiture account कितना से credit हुआ होगा? क्या पूछा? Share forfeiture will be credited. So we have received how much? 80 rupees. 80 we received, but remember there was a premium of 10. And premium amount forfeiture account में credit नहीं होता है. So forfeiture account में कितना credit हुआ है? 70. Is that clear? Coming to 76. बहुत ध्यान से देखना. 75 में आपने forfeiture account में credit कितना बोला है? 70 rupees. क्योंकि 80 मिला हुआ, मैं फिर रिपीट कर रहा हूँ, 10 रुपया तो प्रीमियम का है. Premium amount is not credited to share forfeiture account. So the answer is 70. Now you have reissued them at rupees 90 fully paid up. So discount कितना दे रहे हो आप? 10 rupees. So 76 का answer is A. Now 77. Minimum price at which the forfeited shares in 74 can be reissued. अब देखो ध्यान से. Minimum price कितना होगा? तो forfeiture में 70 credit क्यों ना? तो maximum discount पूछूंगा तो आंसर होगा 70. If I'm asking the question of maximum discount, it is 70, and minimum price would be 30. Got it? Let me check the chat box once. I'm not having any. Okay. Next, I'm not getting to the chats perhaps right now. I'll come down to 78. How the balance in the share forfeiture account would be dealt with in question number 74 if the shares are reissued at rupees 90. शेयर्स अगर 90 में इशू हो रहा है तो 10 रुपीज डिस्काउंट, 70 पहले क्रेडिट और 10 बाद में डेबिट. So we are having a profit of 60 rupees. So 60 rupees would be credited to capital reserve. So 78, the answer is A. Rupees 60 would be credited to capital reserve. 78. Yes, 78 is A. Wonderful. 79. Onwards, again, read these questions. Again, a different variety. Obviously, forfeiture. If shares issued 79, if shares issued a premium are forfeited for non-payment of call money, including premium amount, then at the time of forfeiture of such shares, share premium account debit होता है in respect of unpaid premium amount. I hope you remember the journal entries on the topic of forfeiture of shares. If share premium money, securities premium money has not been received, then the amount of securities premium will be debited at the time of forfeiture. At the time of forfeiture, the amount of securities premium will have to be debited. So the answer is A. Share premium account will be debited in respect of unpaid premium amount. The securities SPR, which we call it in short form in the classes. Next, coming to question number 80. Now the premium part I've included here. 2000 shares Mamta is having. She has failed to pay the first and final call, totaling rupees 5. Just one thing. I hope you all remember that the time span of 45 minutes. You'll have to attempt 50 questions the examination. Online exams है आपका. In 45 minutes, you have to attempt 50 questions. So you have a time of less than 1 minute. So you have to be a bit fast. Coming to 80. Mamta has 2000 shares. She has failed to pay the first and final call, totaling rupees 5. Premium was taken at the time of allotment to the company. On forfeiture, Mamta's shares amount to be debited to share premium account will be. Share premium account by debit kitna hoga, how much? Let me see the answers. I find two answers coming in A and D. Let me still wait. Remember what we said. I will not give my answer. People are still writing A, some C, some D. Listen, at the time of forfeiture of shares, share premium account will be debited if not received by the company. अगर कंपनी से प्रीमियम का पैसा, अगर शेयरहोल्डर से, if the company is not received from the shareholder the amount of premiums. And this question, premium, Mamta has already paid the premium. Premium was taken at the time of allotment with the company. And remember, the shareholder, Mamta, who is holding 2000 shares, has failed to pay the first and final call. That means what, she had paid the allotment money. And अगर allotment money का पैसा मिल गया है, that means the company has already received the amount of premium. अब प्रीमियम का पैसा अगर मिल गया है, तो डेबिट नहीं होगा। प्रीमियम का पैसा अगर मिल जाता है तो डेबिट नहीं होता है। रिमेंबर, so the answer is D. Next, 81. Question 81. A company forfeited 100 equity shares with 100 each, issued at a premium of 50% to be paid at the time of allotment, on which first call money was 30 per share was not received. Final call money of rupees 20 is yet to be made. These shares were subsequently reissued at rupees 70 per share at rupees 80 paid up. Amount to be credited to capital reserve. Remember, first and final call rupees 30 का नहीं मिला है, फाइनल कॉल तो हुआ ही नहीं है, तो 50 तो गया। Now these shares were subsequently reissued at rupees 70 per share at rupees 80 paid up. Remember that capital reserve calculation में क्या आएगा? At the time of forfeiture, capital account में credit कितना हुआ होगा? 50 रुपए. Why 50? Because shares are of rupees 100. 30 बंदे ने नहीं पे किया फर्स्ट कॉल एंड 20 का कॉल हुआ ही नहीं. That means company has received how much? 50 rupees. Excluding premium. Premium को छोड़ के ही तो देखना है. Forfeiture अकाउंट में पहले क्रेडिट कितना हुआ, ध्यान से सुन लो. 50 क्रेडिट हुआ है और बाद में आपने डिस्काउंट कितना दिया है? 10 rupees. Why 10 rupees discount? Because you have reissued them at rupees 70 as 80 paid up. So you have given a discount of 10 rupees. 50 minus 10. 40 is the capital reserve into 100 shares. 40 into 100 is 4,000. Any questions? Would you welcome? Someone is feeling boring, he or she can leave the class, I don't mind. If someone is feeling boring, no need of writing again and again. 81, I was explaining 81. 10 कहाँ से आया? सपना. Summer 10 is the shares have been issued at reissued at rupees 70 at rupees 80 paid up. That means 80 rupees से capital account credit होगा, but हमारे पास पैसा आ कितना रहा? You know, remember the entry of reissue, bank account debit, share please respond. 10 rupees is debited to share forfeiture account because that is a discount. And पहले हम लोगों को कितना मिला हुआ है? forfeiture account में credit कितना हुआ है? 50. I think line has been disconnected. Yeah, I'm again there. 50 rupees was credited to forfeiture account earlier. Was that correct, everyone? Why? Because rupees 100 shares, the shareholder, I'm repeating. Yes, Raj, I'm repeating. On a share of 100 rupees, company has not made the call of 20. And 30 rupees call money the shareholder is not paid. So the shareholder has paid how much? The shareholder has in total paid just 80 rupees. Sorry, 50 rupees. Because out of 100, call of 20 is not made and 30 is not paid. The shareholder has paid 50. The 50 was credited to share forfeiture account. प्रीमियम से नहीं मतलब अपने को. Why? Because प्रीमियम तो बंदा दे दिया है. And at the time of reissue, we have debited 10. Because you have reissued again, I'm repeating, share of rupees 80 paid up at rupees 70. So we give it a discount of 10. So 40 rupees per share would be credited to capital reserve into 100 shares. So answer is 4,000. Next. Thanks, Raj, for the feedback. Thanks, Sapna. Thank you so much. Coming to the next question, 82. A company makes an issue of 10,000 equity shares Read question number 82, everyone. Read 82. A company makes an issue of 10,000 equity to 100 each, payable as follows. Application, first call, second call. Members holding 400 shares did not pay the second call, and the shares were duly forfeited. 300 have been reissued as fully paid up at rupees 80. Capital में कितना जाएगा? Simple. The shareholders have paid how much? They have paid 75 rupees. Everyone make sure हम लोग को पहले share forfeiture account में we need to calculate that how much we have credited to share forfeiture account. We have credited 75. Why? Because we have not received 25. So 75 credited minus at the time of reissue, how much we have debited. As I told you earlier, debited how much? 20. So 75 minus 20. Kitna हुआ? 55 into 300 shares. 300 into 55. The answer is A, 16,500. Next. Yeah, 16,500. That's wonderful. Very good going. Next question, number 83. X issue 100 shares was changed to rupee 1. He paid application money and allotment money, which in total amounted to rupees 5, and failed to pay the balance of this 5. Find the maximum discount. Maximum discount, how much we can give? Obviously, 5 rupees because we have received how much? 5. Maximum discount can be 5. We already discussed. Next, 84. Forfeiture account में कितना credit होगा? 84. 200 shares Mr. A was holding has failed to pay the first and 5 rupees 5. So he has paid only 5. 5 into 200 amount would be answer passed. It is a straight answer question. And how much would be credited to the share forfeiture account? $84. 84. Yeah, 83 is B, Bombay. That's right. I'm asking if 84. The shareholder has failed to pay the first and final call of his 5. Out of 10, he has not paid 5. He's not bothered about premium as I told you. So 200 into 5 would be credited to share forfeiture account. Answer would be 1,000. Answer would be 1,000. Coming to preference shares, again, first you will need to know a bit of the theoretical portions. Preference shares which carry the right of participating in the surplus left after paying equity dividend. In your book, you need to go through the theory on types of preference shares. You'll find there are participating preference shares. Normally, what happens in the case of preference shares, they're entitled to a fixed rate of dividend. That's it. But there are certain preference shares which are called participating preference shares, in which case the preference shareholders are entitled to share some more profit apart from the fixed rate of dividend. After payment to equity shareholders, they are also entitled to certain additional dividend. These preference are called participating preference shares. 85. Anyone? 85 can answer. Here I've given the 5 options. The 5 options are not given in the MC exam. You will have 4, but I want the answer to 86. 86. Yes, 20 years is the right answer. Deepak has given the right answer. It's 20 years. Preferences redeemable within 20 years can be issued. Next, 87. So same. 87 answer is A. Yes, Manu, Aman, Sarika all given the good answer. 87 is also is A. Next, 88. Preference shares can be redeemed. Anyone? Yes, Hiba, I'll explain the portion of redemption. That's right. Preference shares can be redeemed only if they are fully paid up. Make sure. Preference shares, yes, very good answer by Deepak. They can be redeemed only if they are fully paid up. Next. Company intends to redeem its partly paid up preference shares. The partly paid up preference shares, hey, if the company is having partly paid up preference shares, then before redemption, company has 2 options. First, option A, either make the partly paid up shares fully paid up by calling the balance amount. Call up the balance amount, make the shares fully paid up. And number B, forfeit them and reissue them as fully paid up. Either of these 2 options for redemption of partly paid up preference shares, company has either A or B. 2 options. First, either make a call and make them fully paid up, or forfeit the shares and then again reissue them as fully paid up. Then the company can forfeit the shares. The answer would be either A or B. That is B. Next, redeemable preference shares. Question number 90. Redeemable preference shares can be redeemed out of. You must know for 88, the answer is sorry. 88 is A only if they're fully paid up. Someone there's a question for 88. It is A. For 90, preference shares can be redeemed. You must know either out of the proceeds of fresh shares or out of available divisible profits, or a mixture of these 2. That is both A and B. So for 90, the answer is C. That's right. Listen carefully. For 90, I'll take an example. Suppose a company is going to redeem preference shares of rupees 10 lakh. So, company will have to issue either fresh shares of 10 lakh for the redemption preference share of rupees 10 lakh. Company will have to first issue fresh shares of 10 lakh, equity shares or preference share. Or second option is company will have to create a CRR, capital redemption reserve, of 10 lakh. Or third option is mixture of these 2. That means either create a CRR of 4 lakh, for example, 10 lakh का preference shares है, you create a CRR of 4 lakh and issue shares of 6 lakh. Hiba, is asking redemption of preferential का मतलब. Redemption means repayment. Redemption of preference share means repayment. Equity shares are never redeemable, but preference shares are in India. Preference shares are redeemable, and the maximum tenure, as we discussed a bit ago, is 20 years. Within a maximum period of 20 years, the preferences will have to be redeemed. 89, someone was asking the answer. 89, as I said, was D, either A or B. And so 91, sorry, 90, the answer was C. 91, which cannot be used to redeem the preference shares, is D, debentures. We cannot use the proceeds from issue of debenture. As I said, we can use only two things: either issue new shares or create capital redemption reserve (CRR), or a mixture of these two. That's it, nothing else. So 91, which of the following method cannot be used to redeem the preference share? The answer is D. The proceeds from issue of debentures cannot be used. Coming to 92, premium on redemption of, there is a pending error, typo small, premium on redemption of redeemable preference shares can be paid out of all of these. Premium on redemption preference shares can be paid out of all of these. Existing share premiums से भी use होता है. Proceeds of fresh issue of shares is also used. Profit and loss account is also used. So answer is all of these. That's right. 92, answer is all of these. 93, transfer to capital redemption reserve. Amounts we transfer to capital redemption reserve can be out of divisible profits. Remember. And divisible profit means, you know what? Those profits which can be distributed as a dividend among the shareholders. So answer is A, profit and loss account. That's wonderful answer. Himanshu, Reet, Raut, Prachi, Ankita, a lot of us have given answers. No, some were wrong. I said all was wrong. And his answer A, profit and loss account. 94 onwards, you have to be careful. These are practical aspects. 94, I'll skip. Wait. 94, 95, I need to skip. 95. No, 96. Sorry. Coming to 96, everyone. From the following details, calculate the number of equity shares to be issued in order to redeem the preference shares. बहुत ध्यान से देखना होगा आपको. Be careful. Redeem preference shares 1,50,000, and you have to issue them at so you have to redeem them at a premium of 10%. So 1,50,000 का 10% premium 15,000. ये 15,000 premium, that 15,000 premium will have to be provided out of securities premium. Now, companies having divisible profits of general reserve and PL. General reserve and PL, 15 plus 35 is 50, 50,000. That is out of that 50,000, 15,000 general reserve and PL account 35,000. We can create a CRR of 50,000 capital redemption reserve. Now, how much is left? Preference shares हम लोग को 1,50,000 का redeem करना है. We have to redeem preference shares of 150 minus, we have a CRR of 50,000 general reserve plus PL. So how much funds do we need to raise? We need to raise funds of rupees 1 lakh. Got it? And equity shares of rupees 10 each we have to issue. The first line is written. So 1 lakh divided by 10. Number of equity shares to be issued would be how much? Number of equity shares to be issued would be 10,000. Number of equity shares to be issued would be 10,000. Answer B. That's wonderful. Some of you have a very good answer. So 96. The answer is B. Bombay. 10,000. Yes. Asha, Priya, Shweta, all of you have a good answer. Next. 97. In 97, preference shares 10% प्रीमियम पे रिडीम करना है अपने को, एंड प्रेफरेंस शेयर्स 2 लाख का है. 2 लाख का 10% इज 20,000. सिक्योरिटीज प्रीमियम balance is 20,000. So premium on redemption, you will just calculate it. Anyway, 97, option B seems to be right. Listen, 2 lakh rupees is the value of preference shares, 10% premium on that 20,000. That 20,000 premium on redemption can be written off from securities premium 20,000. So now for redemption preference shares, you can make a capital redemption reserve of 45,000. So remaining amount is how much? 1,55,000. 2 lakh minus 45. We have 140.55 divided by 10 rupees. आप एक बार ध्यान में रखना. Remember, even if these preference shares are issued at a premium, these equity shares are issued at a premium. That premium is to be ignored. So answer 15,500. That's very good. Tina, Deepak, Ayush, many one have given the right answer. That's wonderful. Next. 98. Anyone with answers for 98? Preference shares are 5 lakh. 92 one has answered as yet. Preference shares are 5 lakh. 10% premium redemption. Ash, I'll skip 98. I'll skip 98. We need to go a bit fast. We'll skip 99. These all is the same variety, right? I'll skip these because we're running short of time. Yeah. Like coming to 105. 105. Redeemable preference shares of this 2 lakh redeemed at par, for which purpose fresh equity shares of this 80,000 issued at 10% premium. Coming to 105, right? So 2 lakh preference shares are to be redeemed. We are issuing fresh shares of this 80,000 at 10% premium. Yes, Vanshika, I'm coming to your question. Premium is to be ignored for calculation of CRR. Premium is to be ignored for calculation of CRR. So 80,000 shares, we are issuing shares of 80,000, and their preference shares we are redeeming of 2 lakh. So difference is how much? 1,20,000. So we'll have to create CRR of 1,20,000. That means face value preference shares 2 lakh minus face value equity shares 80,000. So answer is 1,20,000. That's right. Wonderful. Next. Someone, yeah, people have answered. Answer B. That's very good. Coming to 10. I'll skip a few questions now before coming to 109. But I can cover all different types of questions. 109. Preference shares amounting to rupees 2,50,000 are redeemed at a premium of 5% by issue of shares amounting to 1,50,000 at a premium 10%. So if you're redeeming preference shares at a premium 5%, forget that premium and forget that you're issuing shares at a premium. CRR to be created would be of how much? Would be 1 lakh. How come 1 lakh? 2,50,000 minus 1,50,000. You got it? 250 minus 150. So answer is 1 lakh. Yeah, that's wonderful. Rajiv ji, just one request. Can you extend the time a bit beyond 145? Rajiv ji, uh, are you there? Rajiv ji, can you hear me? Can you extend the time a bit? Uh, I think all are audible. Coming to the portion of debentures, Saloni, there's a question that's non-common students. Non-common students will face a bit of challenge, that's for sure. You'll have to cover up the basics uh, of accounting from 11, 12 level. Right. You need to catch up those portions so you can find some video lectures or like that. Right now, I cannot help you. Coming to the benches portion. Yeah, 110. Someone is answering till now. I need to take the answer. Yes. Answer is C. 55,000. That's wonderful. It's not B. Reason. I'll tell you one thing. Discount is to be considered. Deepika is asking about the exams. Deepika, I cannot answer about this question because that is not in my purview. All depends upon the corona crisis. So right now, nothing can be said. So till now, the exam whatever has been announced by the Institute for July is final. So coming to 110, preference shares of 1 lakh are being redeemed. Equity shares, remember, जब अगर discount पे issue if shares are being issued at a discount, then discount has to be considered. Remember, premium is ignored, but discount is considered. So after discount, the company is getting in hand how much? 45,000. So 1 lakh minus 45. How come 45? 5,000 shares of rupees 10 each issued at 10% discount. So company has received 45,000. So CRR में transfer होगा 55,000. Next, debentures. Debentures, as we all know, and since non-common students also there, they said, it's a kind of a loan. Debenture is a kind of a loan for the company. Uh, debentures are of different types. Again, you have in your ICSI book, even if a non-common student, you can read it from the book. Debentures, एक होता है ऐसा, normally debentures are secured. Normally in India, we have secured debentures. However, if a debenture is unsecured, because a company does not have any, the debenture is without any kind of security, really can debenture for which no charge is created on that of the company. These are called naked debentures. Option D, naked debenture. Next, number 12. Which of the following statement is true? Debenture is an owner of the company? Obviously not. Debenture can get his money back only on the liquidation? Obviously no. So this is also not true. Debentures can be issued at a discount and redeemed at a premium. Yes, that's right. So answer is C. That is true. And 13. 10% डिबेंचर्स का क्या मतलब होता है? What is that 10%? 113 के आंसर बात कर रहे हैं. What is that 10%? 10% means 10% is the rate of interest, and you know that is called the debenture carry a coupon of 10%. Coupon means rate of interest. Remember, 113 the answer is E. The debentures carry a coupon of 10%. Next. Yeah, 10% rate of interest. Aman, the rate of interest is also called coupon rate. That's called coupon rate. So the answer is E, Aman. Next. Which of the following is true with respect to debenture? Debentures can be issued for cash. That's right. Debentures can be issued for consideration other than cash. That is also right. They can be issued for security. They can be in view of dividend. Everything is right. Rajiv ji. Rajiv ji, can you hear me? Can we extend the session a bit? राजेश थोड़ा सा एक्सटेंड कर सकते हैं सेशन को?
नहीं सर, नहीं, एक्चुअली नेक्स्ट सेक्शन से नेक्स्ट क्लास भी है ना अभी.
अच्छा,
we need to stop here sir.
We need to stop, so we're having just 6 more minutes. 6 मिनट और है सर खाली से.
Sir, actually class will start from 1:45.
1:40. Next. Students, I had tried to do as much justice I could in this short time. Again, we'll meet day after tomorrow. We'll be having our next topic. Anyways, debentures theoretical aspects. Which of the following is false? 115. Which of the following is false? At maturity, debenture holders get back their money. Obviously, that is true. So it's not false. Debentures can be forfeited for non-payment of call money. Debentures can be forfeited for non-payment of call money? No, they cannot be forfeited. Debentures cannot be forfeited for non-payment of call money. Remember. In company's balance sheet, debentures are shown under the head secured loan. That is correct. Interest on debentures charged against profit. That's correct. So, 15. The answer is B for Bombay. Students, don't worry. We'll again meet day after tomorrow. And sharing the notes, ICSI can only answer to this. I can't say at the moment. Coming to, yeah, there are a lot of more practical questions. Maybe I'll ask ICSI and I'll arrange for sharing with you all. Next. Which of the following statement is false? Debenture is a form of public borrowing. Is it customary to prefix debenture with a great rate of interest? Debenture interest is charged against profit. The issue price and redemption value of debenture cannot differ. So option D, they cannot differ. That is false. They can differ. Issue price and redemption value can differ. Under section is D. That's right, Swasti. Next, 17. Not a characteristic of debenture. They are transferable by mere delivery. That is not a characteristic because they are a negotiable instrument. So we need transfer deed. Answer is C. Debenture holders को क्या मिलता है? 118. What does the debenture holder get? Interest at fixed rates. I'll skip a bit. 122. Let me see how many of you can answer this. 122. Interest payable on debenture is. Let us see how many of you are quick. 122. Yes, B. Charge against profit of the company. That's right. I have a few questions, but I think I cannot complete right now. Achha, debenture issued as collateral security. Commit 136. 136. Be quick. If debenture issued as collateral security, that is as additional security, so interest pay करना पड़ता है क्या? Interest is not paid. Interest is not paid. Interest हम लोग को सिर्फ loan पे pay करना होता है, not on the debentures, because as collateral security, when you issue debenture, they are issued only as security. Yes, so Kush's answer, the answer is no interest is paid. That's right. Many of you have answered it. So Rajesh, then I'll call it a day. Rajiv ji, are you there? I think we can carry on, guys, a bit. थोड़ा सा हम लोग carry on कर सकते हैं. Come on to 131, very quick. Okay, so need to stop here, please. Okay. Thank you for the feedback, everyone. So we'll meet again day after tomorrow with the topic on partnership. थोड़ा बहुत reading करके आइए आप लोग. Read, be prepared. I'll be coming with more sheets. Thank you, everyone. Take care.